Welcome to Buzzed and Baffled, the podcast where the wine flows, the stories twist, and the truth is always stranger than fiction. We laugh, we sip, and we dive into tales that leave us buzzing with questions and baffled by reality.
But before we uncork the weirdness, a quick disclaimer. We're not experts, just curious storytellers with glasses in hand. All content within this podcast is our humble opinion. Some content may be dark, disturbing, or downright inappropriate, so listener discretion is advised. And remember, nothing pairs better with a wild story than a good pour, so let's get buzzed and baffled.
Welcome back.
We are back.
We are on episode 23.
23.
Who would have thunk we would have made it this far?
Who would have thought we would have stuck with something for 23 weeks, even a little more?
Yeah. I mean, we're so far along that we have updates to give.
Yeah, which is actually incredible. We actually have an update to a previous story. I'll do that right now before I forget.
Do you tell them where they can find the information for the update, Kyla?
I have no idea.
Would you like to tell our audience about where they can find the inside the episode information on the website?
I would love to, but I don't know, apparently.
This week,
week 23.
Kyla texted me and admitted, which shocked me, you couldn't have waterboarded this out of me, that she, for this entire time, had no idea that all the pictures I was taking and everything I was uploading was going to a very specific part of the website dedicated to each episode. She had no idea.
Well, so on the website, I would just click inside the episode instead of clicking the drop down and looking at individual episodes, which I had no idea existed.
Yes, each episode has its own little web page.
Oops. It's wonderful.
Did you go read it?
No, I have not.
So the same way I don't listen to the podcast, you don't read the website.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well, you need to go to which episode was this for the update.
Mushroom. She was maybe 16. I don't know. Let me look. But I'll have to go inside the episode to find the number.
This is a new experience for her.
It's loading. David's using all the Wi-Fi.
Well, while that's loading, I'm also hoping that people like the new sound that they're probably hearing.
I think like might be a strong word. Maybe are more tolerant to.
less ear splitting, perhaps.
We have new microphones.
Fancy microphones.
Yeah, they're much fancier. I don't know. This website isn't loading. I think the webmaster doesn't know what they're doing.
IT specialist.
There's a number on there. Oh, here we go. Now it's loaded. This was episode 14.
Okay.
When we talked about Erin Patterson and the Australian mushroom murders.
Yeah.
She was sentenced on September 7th or 8th, kind of depends, because it was one day in Australia and the day before here. And she was sentenced to 3 life sentences for the 3 people she killed and 25 years for the attempted murder of the uncle.
Concurrent or?
Concurrent.
Yeah. I mean, after with 3 lifetime sentences, it doesn't really matter.
And she has a non-parole period of 33 years.
She's not getting out.
She's 50 years old right now.
She's not a spring chicken.
No. And as it goes through the appeals process, I'll kind of keep track of things and give updates as they are. But I watched the sentencing. It was 9:00 on a Sunday night because Australia was like 13 hours ahead of us or something. And that judge raked her over the coals.
I looked. I could not find a video of it. I was very disappointed by this.
It was like a live Zoom feed or something.
I will in my spare time sometime if I'm thinking about it, just look. I'm sure somebody may have like pulled it up and put it online somewhere.
Yeah.
It might be on YouTube, but if I find it, I'll post it.
Yeah, it was good.
On the inside the episode.
I don't know what that is. We have for our wine tonight Chasing Harvest New Zealand 2021 Pinot Noir Rosé.
It's a fancier rosé.
It's fancy. And this is on the back. It says, with only passports and backpacks, a passion for adventure, travel, and wine inspired us to chase harvests across 5 continents, 8 countries, and 33 vintages. We used our experience of the world's greatest wine regions to handcraft this limited edition wine. And it says there's 191 cases here. So this really is limited edition.
Thanks, Benny.
The wine is dry and features complex aromas of soft red fruits, floral and mineral notes with crisp acidity and a rich texture. And this is not signed, but it says Michael, Jennifer, and Austin Cush. So that must be the vintners.
Well, crack her open.
Yeah, it's from Alexandra, New Zealand.
The
Okay.
terroir will be nice and dry.
The terrier.
The terrier.
Oh my God, I'm so weak.
Do you mean to do it
No,
for
I got
you?
it. And while I'm pouring this, Nicole can tell you what we had for dinner.
I had, because Kyla does not like pot roast, which is what I was going to make, we had your traditional homesteading maple and honey glazed chicken
Asian chicken thighs.
with sauteed green beans.
Yeah. We really wanted to lean into the pioneer spirit.
I had good intentions.
Well, I mean, it's not your fault. Like, I don't like pot roast because it's gross.
And Geldell did mention that I could have still done like a roasted chicken, but no, if it's pot roast or bust, like nothing.
So, okay, let's give her a try. Oh,
It's not as dry as I thought it would be.
no, but
But it's not terribly sweet.
No.
It's right in the middle.
and it is kind of complex. There's a lot of layers of flavor.
Mhm.
Very good.
When you get your nose right in there, you can smell the floral.
Mhm.
It almost has like strawberry undertones
Yep.
to me.
Yeah, it did say soft red fruits,
Mhm.
which I guess would be strawberry.
Yeah. So today, for my story, we are traveling back in time to the yesteryear of homesteaders, to Kansas. And I've entitled this, Not the Bender We Want.
Okay. And I do want our audience to know, we've mentioned it before, but we have a pin. We have two maps in the pod room, United States map, a world map. And every time we do a story, we put a pin in where the majority of that story takes place. And of course, this was in Kansas. So I said, oh, hey, for this small town or whatever you're going to talk about, you'll probably need to find it on a Google map and zoom out so you can see it. And she said, well, first of all, I have to find where Kansas is.
I've never been to Kansas. I'm never going to
I mean,
Kansas.
I've never been to the moon, but I know where it is.
Could you find it on a map of outer space?
Yeah, I probably could.
So this story is inspired by one of our favorite HBO shows.
Ooh, the Frontier People.
Mm-hmm. So what do you like about the HBO Homesteader show?
Well, I like that they take city folk and put them in these ridiculous situations. And also they try to be super PC about it, but also not really.
I think we can both agree that they missed the PC train when the one family of color had 3 walls and everyone else had 4 walls and working doors.
Yeah. They tried to include, there's a gay couple and there's a black family and there's a white family. And I'm like,
Did you allocate those resources appropriately? I'm kind of questioning, unless this was done by lottery, and it did not appear that
Maybe.
it was, because it didn't show them like picking for which house they get.
No. So I don't know how they decided on these 3 people or these 3 families, but it's pretty ridiculous. You should give it a watch.
So, in the 1870s, the prairies of Kansas were being settled by Americans seeking a better life.
From where?
I mean, I'm guessing the tenements of New York.
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't want to be in the middle of nowhere.
No,
And I definitely wouldn't want to be staying with this family, as we'll learn.
okay.
So during this time period, the Homestead Act of 1862 brought many people to the Midwest seeking free land and a place to establish a new home. As this was an area that was easy to get lost in due to a lack of infrastructure with towns being sparse and houses being spread far apart, it was also a place where people would come to get lost and evade detection.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in trouble, you might as well head west and
That like disappear into the
Mhm.
wilderness. One such family who sought freedom via the Homestead Act was the Bender family. The family was comprised of Ma Kate Bender, Pa John Bender, who were described as an older German couple,
okay.
a young man, John Gebhardt, and a woman, Kate Jr. You look up there, that is their drawing. So it's like Pa, Ma, John, Kate.
Kate Jr.
Kate Jr.
We don't have enough females juniors these
No.
days.
It was believed that Kate Sr. and Jr. were mother and daughter,
That would track.
and that Pa was one of Kate Sr.'s many husbands,
Okay.
and that John Gebhardt was Kate Jr.'s common law husband. However, it may have been that Kate Jr. and John Jr. were brother and sister.
Okay.
It
It had
could
to
have
be really confusing when you're like, hey, Kate, and like two women.
Well, I'm sure she probably went by Ma and the one went by Kate. But, it's hard to know what their relationship was. This is all kind of just based on word of mouth
Mhm.
because there weren't official records of these relationships.
Well, and like you said, they were trying to get away from something.
Mm-hmm. Paul was described by those who lived near them as approximately 60 years old. He spoke little English, and it was reported the English he did speak was guttural and often unintelligible.
Hmm.
Kind of a hills have eyes scenario.
Yeah.
Descriptions of Pa for the time were the man was a repulsive, hideous brute
Oh my God.
without a redeeming trait, dirty, profane, and ill-tempered.
He actually sounds like he might be a little bit fun.
I kind of feel like that's going to be on my tombstone. Ma was described as 55 years old. She also spoke little English and was described by her neighbors as an unfriendly she-devil.
Also, that'll be on the back of your tombstone.
Yeah.
One on the front, one on the back.
She was described by newspapers of the time as a dirty old Dutch crone. Her face was a fit picture of a midnight hag that wove the spell of murderous ambition and the soul of Macbeth.
That is some excellent use of the English language to describe
Like-
somebody.
Like that newspaper brought it.
Yeah, they did.
Kate Jr. was around 22. She is believed to have been born in America. She spoke fluent English and was a self-proclaimed healer and psychic.
Ooh.
She would hold seances and distributed flyers advertising her supernatural powers and ability to heal illness.
Okay.
She was ahead of her time socially and often supported the idea of free love.
Okay.
So Kate was a little bit of a tart.
A little bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
She was like a hippie of the time.
Well, I mean, it sounds like Ma had gone through several husbands. Kate proclaimed herself responsible to no one save herself. Like a cuddle, like from like
Yeah.
right now, you're like, okay, maybe Kate's not too bad.
Mhm.
But wait,
But wait, there's more.
there's always more. She professed to be a medium of spiritualism, because that was a big thing back then,
Mhm.
and delivered lectures on the subject. In her lectures, she publicly declared that murder might be a dictation for good, and the world might deem villainy. Her soul might read bravery, nobility, and humanity. I don't know what she meant by that, but
Was
That's-
she the Dexter before Dexter?
she's not smart enough to be Dexter. Just
Okay.
wait. She advocated for free love and denounced all social regulations for the promotion of purity and the prevention of carnality, which she called miserable requirements of self-constituted society.
So she knows what she's about.
Yeah, and she's unapologetic.
Yeah,
about
she's
it.
taking shit from nobody.
Mhm.
She ain't following your rules.
So she maintained carnal relations with her brother husband
Oh my God, I hate that sentence so much.
and boldly proclaimed her right to do so, in the following words in her manuscript. Shall we confine ourselves to a single love and deny our natures their proper sway? Even though it be a brother's passion for his own sister, I say it should not be smothered. A little less likable.
Yeah. Maybe sometimes you need to follow some rules, Kate Jr.
Like sometimes rules are needed. Okay, hold on. I got to adjust.
Our new microphones are on different stands. And are you cold? I can close the windows. You don't have to put your sweatshirt around your shoulders like an old grandmother.
I am 100% putting it on like a shawl. Can you close the window?
Yes. Okay, keep going.
John, 25, her common-law husband brother, is believed to come from Germany, but he also spoke fluent English. He was described as charming and handsome and as a con artist. They lived with 4 other families on a spiritualist homestead 7 miles northeast of Cherryville, Kansas. The Benders built a cabin that they divided into 2 parts with a canvas wagon cover. The back half of the cabin was their living quarters, and the front half served as a general store and restaurant for travelers as they were on right off the Great Osage Trail. And so the map right there, the red line, is the Great Osage Trail, and that was a Native American trail named after the Osage tribe going through the Midwest. And it was used by the Native Americans to follow the buffalo, and the white man came and used it as like a highway, basically.
Okay. For our listeners, I believe she means Osage.
Sure.
Okay. Just making sure that
the Osage Trail?
It's Osage, yeah.
So the Osage Trail.
Osage Trail.
Yeah. The family was not just hosting these travelers, however, they were robbing and murdering them.
Well, I mean, I kind of knew this had to go there.
I mean, my stories always do. So the first murder was believed to have occurred in May 1871. A man named Jones was discovered near the Bender homestead in Drum Creek with his throat cut and his skull crushed. It was believed at that time that the owner of Drum Creek had killed him, but the locals took no action at that time. It may have been that they'd gotten away with the murder, emboldened the family because they just kept murdering travelers.
Well,
the identity of all the victims is not known, as they were discovered after the Benders had fled the property. It is believed that the method the family used to kill their victims was that they would invite them into the cabin under the guise of a meal and access to the general store, which is at the front of the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So the top right there, that's a picture of their cabin.
Okay, yep.
And the map, like the little drawing under there, is what the inside of the cabin looked like. So it's not very big, but you can see in the front, there's like a little counter where you'd have your goods. And then there's the wagon top. And then in behind there, there's a trap door.
Oh.
One of the Benders would hide behind the curtain that separated the room from the living quarters and would hit the victim in the head with a hammer, rendering them unconscious as they were eating. They would then slit their throats and use the trapdoor to dump them into the cellar where they left them to bleed out.
Isn't that what Sweetie Todd did?
Yeah, it is exactly what Sweetie
did. He didn't hit him in the head.
I mean, but there's no barber chair, but it's kind of the same concept.
And like slit him down somewhere.
No meat pies here, though.
Not yet, anyways.
Not yet. The testimony of people who escaped the Bender family supported this theory, one stating that he had refused to sit near the canvas cloth because of the stains he saw on it.
Oh.
After the demise, they would dispose of the body or bury them on the property. The second known victim occurred in 1872, which was a man and his young daughter.
Oh.
By 1873, reports of missing people who had passed through the area were common knowledge to local travelers, and people began to avoid the trail that ran by the Bender's home.
But nobody's doing anything about this? So they have a bloody curtain at the back of their store, and people are just like, eh.
I mean, yeah, we have a big bloody tarp, but we're like, it's fine. In the spring of 1873, Colonel Alexander York, who was a member of the Kansas Senate and a lawyer, was seeking the whereabouts of his brother, Dr. William York. He brought 50 men to help him search for his brother. Apparently, William went missing off of the Osage Mission Trail while he was looking for his friend, George Longcore, who had gone missing many months before while he was traveling with his young daughter. So father and daughter go missing. Friend goes looking for them. Now the colonel's there.
Mm-hmm.
The colonel search brought him to the Bender property on March 28th, 1873. He was told by the Bender family that his brother did stay with them, but had left, and they suggested he had run into trouble with the Indians.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. This seemed plausible to the colonel, who left the Bender property and continued to search for his brother. However, he returned on April 3rd, 1873, after he learned that a young woman had fled the property, claiming that Ma Bender had threatened her with a knife.
Okay.
When he arrived at the Bender property for the second time, the younger Benders, so Kate Jr. and John, denied this accusation. Ma Bender became enraged by the claims, stating the woman was a witch who had cursed her coffee and ordered the men to leave her house.
Well, I'd be pissed if someone cursed my coffee too, though. That one's fair. She's a witch.
Yep. This was an error on Ma Bender's part, as she revealed that she had a better handle on the English language that she had previously fled on.
Whoopsies.
The 50 men traveling with the colonel were convinced that the Benders were responsible for his brother's disappearance. However, the colonel wanted evidence before an accusation was made. Kate Jr. used her wiles and attempted to lure the colonel back to the Bender house alone, asking him to return on Friday night so she could use her clairvoyant abilities to help him find his brother. The colonel did not take Kate Jr. up on her offer, but he did attend a town hall where the community was discussing their concerns for all of the disappearances. So, now maybe we need to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
It was at this time that the town obtained a warrant, and I don't know where they got this warrant from. Is there a courthouse? Is there a judge? I have so many questions. It was
from the marshal or something, the guy who was appointed to oversee whatever.
Is it the
territory?
Guy who, is it the guy who said, I'm the sheriff now, and he whittled himself a little badge?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes. He whittled it out of wood.
Mm-hmm. So it was at this time that the town obtained a warrant to search all of the homesteads between Big Hill Creek and Drum Creek. 3 days after the town hall meeting, a local rancher noticed the Bender household abandoned. A search party was sent to the homestead, where they found the animals abandoned and the cabin empty of all food, clothing, and possessions.
That's not suspicious.
No,
not Did they take their bloody tarp?
I mean, I'm assuming they put it over the wagon.
They probably did. The bolo that was put out.
It's
look for the bloodstained wagon.
I mean, it's not like
they wouldn't have had more than one.
And they can't just go to the wagon store and get more tarps. So during the search, a foul odor was noticed coming from under the cabin. They found the trapdoor that had been nailed shut. When they were able to open the trapdoor, they found traces of blood, but no bodies.
That's kind of somehow worse.
This prompted them to conduct a more thorough search of the property, and this is when they found the body of the colonel's brother in the vegetable garden. When they kept digging, they found over 17 other bodies in different grave sites across the property, and several body parts scattered across the property. The body of a young girl, suspected to be the daughter of George Longcore, was found without wounds, so it was suspected that she was either strangled or buried alive.
Oh, no.
And so the bottom picture there is a picture of where they found all the grave sites on the property.
Oof. I don't like that.
At least they didn't eat them.
Well, I mean, if one was in the vegetable garden, they
I guess you
a little bit
you
did.
did a little bit. Like, wow, these are some really great tomatoes. So the victims, on May 1871, Mr. Jones, the body found in Drum Creek with a crushed skull and throat cut. On either the 2nd or 3rd of February 1872, 2 unidentified men were found on the prairie with crushed skulls and throats cut. December 1872, Ben Brown from Howard County, Kansas, was robbed of $2,600, which would have been like $68,000
Jesus, what was
now.
he doing with that money?
He was missing, and he was found buried in the apple orchard. December 1872, so this is 2 in a month. William F. McCrotty, he was, it says COD 123rd Infantry. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it's a ranking of some kind.
Yeah.
He was robbed of $38, which is $997 nowadays, and a wagon with a team of horses that were missing. On December 1872, so that's the 3rd one that month, Henry Mackenzie, he was relocating to Independence from Hamilton County, Indiana. He was robbed of $36, which is $945, and matched a team of horses that was also missing. And then again, December 1872.
Man, they were in the Christmas spirit.
Yep. John Boyle from Howard County, Kansas. He was robbed of $10, which is $262, and a pacing mare, and $850, which is $22,000 now, and a saddle. He was found in the well, which I'm like, if you have to drink out of the well, not great. Also, they could have dumped him as they were running too. They might not have been in there the whole time. And then we're still in December 1872. So this is the 8th or the 9th. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We have George Longcore and his 18-month-old daughter, Mary Ann. Contemporary newspapers reported his name was either George Longcore or George Launcher. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And while Mary Ann was similarly reported as either being 8 years old or 18 months.
Well, that's a little bit bigger difference than Longcore versus Launcher.
But according to the 1870 sentence, George and his wife, Mary Ann, were neighbors with Charles Ingalls in the family of Independence. And while his wife's parents lived 2 houses away, after the death of his infant son, Robert, from pneumonia in May 1871, and his 21-year-old wife, following the birth of Mary Ann, he was returning home to his parents, basically. He was
Charles Ingalls, like the Little House on the Prairie Charles Ingalls?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. So Anthony and Mary were from Lee County, Iowa, and they were going back home. He was trying to return to Iowa. George had purchased a team of horses from his neighbor, a Dr. William Henry Yark, who later went looking for George and was also murdered. Both were Civil War veterans. $1,900, which is $49,000, was missing, and the daughter is thought to have been buried alive, but they couldn't really prove it. She was found fully clothed, including mittens and a hood. So nothing creepy happened, it doesn't sound like. But we keep going. We're still in December 1872. John Greery, buried in the apple orchard. December 1872. Red Smith, buried in the apple orchard. December 1872. Abigail Roberts, buried in the apple orchard. Again, December 1872, various body parts. The parts did not belong to any of the other victims and were believed to be at least 3 additional victims, like when you put them all together.
Okay.
Still going. We have victims 16 through 19, December 1872. During the search, the bodies of 4 unidentified males were found in Drum Creek and the surrounds. All 4 had crushed skulls and throats cut. One may have been Jack Bogert, whose horse had been purchased from a friend of the Benders after he went missing in 1872. In May,
Oh, we finally moved off
Yep,
December.
we moved. So
They
like,
took a little break after.
I mean, they needed a little vacation. That's a lot of work to get rid. Like, it takes a lot of time to get rid of that many bodies. It's like, oh, yeah, how many is this? So in December,
Yeah, you're like 19 or 20 or
so we're
something.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, that's too many.
Yep. So May 1873, Dr. William York was robbed of $2,000, which is $52,000 now, buried in the apple orchard. It is unclear as to which member of the family initiated these crimes. At the time, the newspapers were keen to point a figure at Kate Jr. It is plausible that she wanted a life she could not attain living in the plains of Kansas. Thus, her outlandish claims to get attention, and the crime was a quick way for her to earn money.
I feel like it wasn't her. Like, she obviously was complicit, but
It is unknown which family member played what roles in the murder of the travelers found at the home. After the discovery, their murderers, the colonel put up a reward of $1,000, which would be $26,000
Wow.
today, for their family's arrest. The detectives followed the wagon wheels from the Bender family, and they led them to the outskirts of Thayer, Kansas, which is approximately 12 miles from the homestead. There, they bought train tickets. John and Kate left the train near Denison, Texas, where it is believed that they traveled to an outlaw colony on the border between Texas and New Mexico. They were not pursued further, as it was well known at the time that lawmen who followed people into this region often never returned.
okay.
One claim is that John Jr. later died of a stroke, while another claim is that he committed suicide in Lake Michigan.
In Lake Michigan?
Mhm.
Ugh.
Ma and Pa Bender did not follow the children to New Mexico, instead heading into Kansas City, where they bought tickets for St. Louis, Missouri. Several bounty hunters claim to have caught Ma and Pa Bender, claiming to have killed them via lynching or burning them alive. However, the reward money was never claimed. Some suspect that Pa Bender was arrested and charged with murder in Montana in 1884, where a man was murdered with a hammer blow to the head. He never faced these charges, as the man severed his foot where he was chained up and he bled out.
Oh,
A request was sent to Cherryville for help for positive identification, but decomposition was so advanced that positive identification could not be made after his death. A reporter in Kansas City also made claims that the Kelly family, a family who killed several people in Oak City, Kansas, between August 1887 and December 1887, were in fact the Bender family.
that would track.
The Kelly family consisted of Bill Kelly, 55, his wife Kate Kelly, their son Billy Kelly, and their daughter Kit Kelly.
Come on. You got to be better than that.
The Kelly family ran a tavern, and several travelers were found murdered on the property and buried in shallow graves after being murdered with an axe.
Yeah, that's 1,000% them.
The Kelly family made an escape for New Mexico. The mother, Kate Kelly, fell off her horse and died during the escape. Billy and Kit were caught, and William was later caught. All three were hung.
Mm.
There was no proof that the Kelly family and the Bender family were the same.
Except for they had to be.
Yes.
Like, pick better names. I'm surprised it wasn't like
They weren't real
Kate Jr. again.
And I would think for Kate Jr.'s flair for the dramatic, that perhaps she would have put a little more effort into kind of changing the MO
Mhm.
and the family names.
Yeah. Fascinating. I don't think I've heard that before.
I can find murder anywhere.
Well, yeah, I know you can. Because it's coursing through your veins. It's part of who you are. Prairies.
But if you think about it, this is the place to be murdering people because it's easy to get away. You could just, if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
good at like survival tactics, you could just run into the wilderness and
Mhm.
never be seen again.
Or you run into a place where it's known that, hey,
Yeah.
you got to stay out of there.
Yeah, lawmen don't go here because you will get murdered.
Or you just move somewhere else and change your names, but not in a way that makes it not
Like,
obviously
only
you
the
again.
middle 3 letters, not the beginning or the last letter,
Yeah.
and you keep the relationships
Yep.
of like brother husband the same.
Yeah.
I will say though that the lawmen in this time were not much better than the Tampa City police
Yeah.
as far as
I'm
solving
sure they were
this
just,
crime.
the elected. It's not like they had law, like cop school.
No, I'm sure it's like some poor guy just got like elected, like the town did a vote, and
Mhm.
like this is what you do now, whether you like it or
Yep.
not.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Deadwood?
No.
Oh, you should. It's very good.
Is that like about the Cassidy kid and all that stuff?
No, it takes place in Deadwood, South Dakota, and
Hmm.
it's just a rough, tough outlaw town, and it's very good.
It sounds like a place I might like, but considering what is it going to say on my gravestone again? A dirty old Dutch crone. Her face was fit of pure midnight hag that wove a spell of murderous ambition and the soul of Macbeth.
That person's English teacher had to be so proud when they wrote that.
I mean, it's very impressive.
Yeah, Deadwood. It's on HBO, and it's got a great cast. And it's hilarious, but not intentionally. And they swear so much.
Is it like campy hilarious?
No, it's just like ridiculous. It's not. It's a drama,
Okay.
but there's some funny parts just because of the way characters are.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very good. Highly recommended.
Perhaps after we finish watching Real Housewives later.
I feel like we'll never finish watching Real Housewives despite my protests because there's always going to be more Real Housewives.
Do you know what started this last week?
Salt Lake City.
Yep. You get to watch it from the first episode of the season.
Good.
So everyone think about how Kyla's going to have so much fun finishing the Real Housewives of Miami tonight and starting the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And perhaps we can sprinkle in some real Mormon housewives or whatever it's called.
No, I'm not watching that. I tried. I thought it was a documentary.
I mean, it kind of is.
No, it's not a documentary.
It's documenting the stupid shit they do.
It doesn't make it a documentary. I didn't learn anything. It's not educational.
I do say, though, that Bravo's really missing an opportunity not following us with cameras because we do some real dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could video you perusing the website for the first time.
5 months into our podcast. Like a newborn.
Yeah.
What is this?
Like a baby deer learning to walk online.
Well, it started because my aunt had sent me a screenshot of something you had misspelled on the website.
I would never.
I'm like, oh, I'll let her know so she can fix it. So I was going to go, because you had asked if you spelled the first one right.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I can't even find where this is coming. Like, I don't even know where she found this. So I looked on Facebook. I looked on Instagram.
How long? So you refused to ask me where it came from?
Well, yeah. And then I was like, oh, I have to click this drop down and there's individual episodes. Because if you just click inside the episode, there's a list of all the episodes. Yeah. And if you click there, it brings you somewhere else than if you click the drop down to inside of the episode.
Yeah, so inside the episode brings you to the page that has them all listed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you click the hyperlink on that page, that will also bring you to the individual pages.
Right, but that's different.
Yeah.
Than the other one.
Yeah,
so
the drop down, if you click on like episode 23.
The drop down has way more information than the hyperlink.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to show you because I think you're still missing an important part of how this works.
I'm doing it live right now. I'm on here right now. Also go to buzzedandbaffled.net. You'll see my confusion.
I'm going to open this.
I think you changed this just to mess with me.
Okay, you see this?
We're not doing it.
Okay. You can choose that, but you can also click that.
Okay, and to give me some credit,
and that will bring
I've been looking on my phone.
That will bring you to all of these. Oh, I haven't updated yet. That's why you can't see the other one.
Yeah.
But if you click on episode 20 right here, it then brings you to the main page that has all of the other information. You can also click on the drop down, and that will just bring you right to the main page.
Well, I never said that I was smart.
So everyone, go take a look and see what Kyla has seen for the first time tonight.
Because there's also the episodes page.
Yep.
So we have our information in 3 different places.
But the episodes just tell you what the episode about. The inside of the episodes is what we're looking at that they need to be able to see.
Well, apparently I don't need to be able to see it. And it's on my phone. It looks different.
We're gonna make her go and look this. I'm gonna make her give me a
maybe
book
practice.
I want to see you do it, and I want a book report on what episodes were what and what pictures were on there. I want 2 pages, double spaced, at least 500 words.
Okay, 500 words is way more than 2 pages double spaced. What kind of font am I going to use? It's going to be so tiny you can't see it.
Times New Roman 12.
Not a chance.
APA
Calibri forever.
I wanted APA standards, and I expect citations.
Well, my citation is going to be, this bitch made me do it. Ubinger 2025.
Yeah. So next week, Kyle will be telling a story.
Yes. I don't have it written yet, but I know what it's going to be about.
Would you like to give people a hint?
It's going to be, we're going to do something a little bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a couple weeks of dark subject matter, so it'll be something a little bit lighter. It'll be a 2-in-1, so kind of like when I did the pigeon and the headless chicken.
Okay.
The stories aren't related, but the theme is similar.
Yeah, so I have 3 in the hopper. I get to choose between murder, psychological torture, or cannibalism.
Yeah, that's why I'm picking something a little bit lighter. Just, break it up a little.
So Kyla will be the light in the darkness.
Yeah, apparently I'm the comic relief, so.
So this is To the Next Pour and the Next Plot Twist.